What's good, everybody? Morning after. We're back. Friday episode. I woke up on time today. Held myself accountable. I've been up since 1 a.m. I said if I slept too long last week, I just won't sleep this week. We got as I like to call him, the GOAT. We got G with us. G, how we doing this week?
Great. Excited that you did wake up. Wondering if you are doing like the classic Carter Elliott move here where like you miss something that you were contractually obligated to do and you immediately follow it up by like a performance that's big and for show. Like I do have to note, you are making it very known that you've been up since like 4 a.m. today.
Yeah.
And now I think you're on like your 9th video. So more power to you. Like I am impressed with the work today, but like, is the fact that this is coming one Friday after no showing the morning after, is that a correlation there a little bit?
Absolutely. So no one works harder after failure than me and Cart. And no one works less after success than me and Cart as well, probably. So this is a classic me move. I don't know what happened last week. I was sleeping really good though. I'm just being honest. Like even when I logged on to do this, you could hear like in my he just woke up. I have no clue what happened. I just remember waking up around 7:10 thinking, oh my God, I have 18 texts from G Card and JK. That's not good. Either the channel's down or I messed something up. And then I realized I got to lock in this week. But what I didn't realize I was doing, and we discussed this a little bit before we did shorts earlier, I just like triple booked myself today. 5 previews, the morning after, all the shorts, no clue what I was signing up for, but that's a classic me where you just like, you lock in and you do stuff you shouldn't do because you messed up before.
Right. No, 100%. I get it. And I think that's great, by the way. I want you and Cart, when things are going well, to like be half-assing. And then I want you and Cart to respond when things are going poorly with your best. That's what makes y'all you. By the way, Rickus Morty's is in the chat. He's right. We do need to add everyone in the Discord and try to get everybody in here. So I'm going to do that right now. You nailed it. JK hasn't tweeted that this is going on. So that's tough. Let me get on that. Am I arrogant? Rickus Morty's, and I think all the Purdue fans are on me for being arrogant right now. Can you help guide me through this? Like, philosophically, what am I supposed to do when my team is spitting out a top 4 performance in the history of college basketball?
Everything you're doing. Like, I don't think like the comment section realizes arrogance fully. Let Michigan State be what Michigan is right now, and y'all will see arrogance. Or like, don't let West Virginia do what Michigan's doing right now. And you like they would see arrogance. But I feel like at the moment, like I think you're handling it great. I mean, you have 3 banners behind you. You don't even remind people. I put 3 units on a bet that seemingly is going to lose, and I remind people every day. Bet hasn't even won yet, and we're just hoping it gets to the final at this point. So I think you're doing great.
Well, thank you. Listen, I get it. I also can play like arrogant prick really well. And I'm acting like that's a role I'm playing. Like I'm not just inherently an arrogant prick. But no, I think the problem is it goes both ways. Like I have actually taken a pretty conservative approach in the Michigan videos. Like I'm not just coming on like this team's nasty. But then the comment section, all those is like, come on, G, like let it loose. You don't have to downplay this team's greatness. And then when I go on like a Purdue video and I'm like, yeah, Michigan looks better than y'all, then everyone's like, you're such an arrogant jerk. So I feel like I can't win either way. The only thing that gives me solace in all of this is this. I earned this.
Yeah.
2 years ago, my team won 8 games. I drove my ass in a blizzard to sit in an empty arena and film myself on my phone, documenting the fact that Doug McDaniel couldn't even get a high five from his teammates. Like I begged for my head coach to be fired. I called out the institutional incompetence. Some say I'm the only person in Michigan media willing to call out institutional incompetence. You want to talk about arrogance? Like I think I've earned this. I have earned a good basketball team. I got to enjoy it.
You and Dave Portnoy play you guys' roles very well, by the way.
Oh, I don't like being lumped in with that.
Oh, no, I'm not saying you guys do have the same role. His role is to be the over-the-top arrogant one. Your one is to point out, like, the successes and the negatives. I think you guys, like, to me, there's three faces of Michigan. It's Dave Portnoy, it's Greg Waddell, and then it's Buddy from Oracle. Don't know his name, but him and his wife, like those are the three faces of the program. And then Dusty's a close fourth, but he's involved in it. And then whoever they get as the football coach can be like way down the list. But I think you guys play your roles like incredibly. No one's ignoring the football drama in Syndium. I would love to talk to him more if you want to, G.
Yeah, we can do that whole situation real quick. I've made my piece pretty clear on other videos on the channel. I did sing a rendition of Mr. Brightside, Mr. Swipe Right, which I'm very proud of. That went a little viral. Card, I think, was retweeting the Mr. Swipe Right song last night from Sleepers, which I appreciate. But also, like, I dropped an F-bomb in there, and I'm like, he's fucking his staff. And Cart retweeting that 7 minutes after we just put out the Braden Smith pod episode was not the greatest look. So I had to undo that retweet a little bit, but let's all have a little bit of fun, a little bit of lightness within the dark. Who do you think Michigan should hire, Deion?
Dillingham, Kenny.
That's who I want for sure.
Yeah. I think he would leave Arizona State too. I was listening to his comments on, I believe it was either ESPN or FS1. I guess those are only two channels it could be on, actually. But one of the big markets, and he was discussing how like money is like hurting everything, and like because he was Sam Levitt just like leaving and not showing up to like the team dinner or whatever. He was discussing that, and he was discussing like all like his frustrations with it. Michigan solves all that. Like you ain't got to worry about none of that. If you want Sam Levitt, they'll pay for Sam Levitt. I will say, like, not to bring Portnoy up again, I do love his idea of just paying Kiffin double what LSU did to see what he does.
That'd be a mess. They need somebody outside of the entire Harbaugh sphere very clearly. And I think Dillingham is the Dusty May hire. Like, you basically just get the young up-and-coming stud who gets it. Yeah. And you don't know what it's going to look like, but you know he gets this era and he's taking a unique approach to it that nobody else really is. Give him resources and see what happens. That was the whole pitch on Dusty. Yeah. I think Dillingham, like, you hear him talk like, yeah, you know, guys that want to transfer away from us, they're still part of this team. Like, they get to play through our bowl game. Our season's not over yet. Like, I haven't heard any other coach say that. It's refreshing. I think he's a player's coach. I think he understands how to manage people. And yeah, you give him a bunch of money, all of a sudden I think good things are going to happen. He would be my 1-1 for sure if I'm a Michigan fan or somebody in the room making the decision. I do got to say this. I don't know where you stand on DeBoer. I think it would be objectively hilarious. It is objectively hilarious that the top target for Michigan after firing Sharon Moore is the coach that Sharon Moore beat in a bowl game when Sharon Moore's entire team opted out and Kalen DeBoer's entire team opted in. And Sharon Moore beat him anyway. And now Kalen DeBoer wants to run away from the best program in the sport because he's afraid of the spotlight. That's the top target. Yeah. Even if you think he's a good coach, even if you think it's good value to steal him from Bama because you can, it's a crazy moment for that, you know?
I don't love DeBoer as a coach. I think he should have missed the playoff this year. And that would be – did they make it last year? No, right?
They did, right?
They did.
Did they? No, they lost to Michigan in the bowl game. Yeah,
they lost to Michigan. So he should be 0-2 on making the playoffs at Alabama, but they bailed him out because they just wanted Bama involved in it. The way Michigan speaks about themselves, it's as big of a program as Alabama. I think the problem DeBoer is having at Alabama is it's too big of a program for him. I don't think that solves any of his issues, and it makes me look at Michigan differently. Kenny Dillingham doesn't make me look at Michigan any differently. Just caught a water bottle that tried to fall, by the way. Elite hands.
Athletic specimen.
Elite hands. So I think they should go with Kenny, but DeBoer would make me look at them different. DeBoer's a Penn State hire, not a Michigan hire.
Yeah. It sounds like it's going to be DeBoer unless something falls through. So we'll see what happens. Chat got active after I tweeted some shit out. You want to take some chats?
A lot of them want to talk to you about Elliot Cadeau.
Yeah, where was the first one? I saw that. Coda said, you didn't earn shit. You can't pull from Michigan considering how big of an Elliot Cadeau hater you were last year. Tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong. I can pull from Michigan, and I do hate Elliot Cadeau. See how easy that was? Like simultaneously right now, I am actively hating my point guard. Hate him. Despise watching him. Don't like it. And simultaneously, he's playing really good. And my team's a top 4 college basketball product ever. Kind of crazy if you think about it. Because watching Cadeau objectively sucks. It's not fun. And Dusty May has somehow got him to like iron out a lot of the problems with his game. I still don't like it. But I'm amazed by it, that's for sure. Pretty easy.
Shooting 39% from 3. I think that's a wildly different version of Elliot Cadeau than was at North Carolina. I mean, it's still not the most enjoyable watch, but I think the biggest thing was like, can Elliot shoot? At least so far, he's been able to.
Yeah, I think the whole world would be a lot better if we could normalize being a fan of something or some place while simultaneously not defending every single thing within it.
Yeah.
Like you can be a Michigan football fan and be like, I hate this stuff. I hate this person. You can be a Michigan basketball fan and be like, I don't like that guy. I don't like that he flops. You could be a Michigan State basketball fan and be like, Jeremy Fear's antics are bad. It would be a better world if we could just be honest about this sometimes, you know?
That Arkansas game, because there's another one. Would you rather watch Fears or Cadeau? My answer for that is Fears. I really like watching him pass the basketball, but I will say that moment in that Arkansas game where he foul baited like 3 times and finally got the whistle on the inbound, that's one of the more unwatchable things in the history of basketball, whether it's high school, college, or like pros, it doesn't matter. Like Fears and Cadeau are very similar in terms of like watchability. Fears
is better. I would rather watch him just because some of the passes he makes are incredible. He's better and he's tough. And yeah, I even like when Fears is doing the quote unquote bad stuff, it's entertaining because it's like watching like a WWE fight. So I would rather watch that even than Cadeau. But don't get me wrong, like the best part about Cadeau right now, it's been a quiet Cadeau year. Yeah. He plays 20 minutes a game and just fits into the system. And then you look up and he had like 9 points and 9 assists and 1 turnover and made a 3. Like it's not even the story of the game ever. He's just part of this beautiful thing Dusty May has built.
He's playing a role. It's interesting. Like I feel like NIL, everyone was convinced like you pay somebody X amount of money and it equals like they have to be stars. I think Dusty's proving you pay someone X amount of money and they just want to play for you. And it doesn't matter what that role is, and they'll fit in and they'll do things that are like built around what you want to do. And like you said, it's been a quiet Cadeau year. I will say Cadeau Fears is must watch. That's like you get Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao to sign on the dotted line. Everybody's tuning into that.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing, I feel like it's hard not to look ahead with Michigan right now. And Rothstein did a big thing we're going to do a short on today about like they could go 20-0 on January 30th. Their schedule's pretty wide open until they get to Michigan State. # play somebody. But I feel like I'm starting to interpret what these individual matchups will look like. Like Michigan State people want to be like, dog, it's Fears versus Cadeau. Fears is going to, like I see Randy right now in the chat, Fears is going to destroy Cadeau. I really hope that when we get to Michigan State and Michigan State makes it all about Fears versus Cadeau. Focus all of your attention on Elliot Cadeau. Do that. That's what you should worry about, Michigan State fans. Forget about Yaxel and Merez and the 7'3" guy. Don't worry about those guys and figuring out how you're going to score. Just worry about Fears and Cadeau. You'll be great. And then Illinois is like, oh, we're going to eat Merez for lunch. Illinois, I hope you make it all about Merez. Make it all about Merez. Forget about Yaxel and all my 3-point shooter. Like the thing with Michigan is you got to deal with like 9 dudes.
Yeah.
9 well-paid dudes, half of whom will be in the league. And y'all want to like isolate one position you think you can mentally get to. Get to him. Foul Cadeau out of the game. Foul Merez out of the game. I got dudes that are ready to come off with 0 fouls whenever you do that. And I think you're going to have a more comprehensive answer than one guy.
Every time I watch Michigan play, and this might just be a Michigan episode because I actually really love Michigan. Every time I watch them play, it's like there's like 20 minutes or like real time 20 minutes, not game time, but like 20 minutes of real time go by. Like game tips off at 5. 525 hits, and I watch Trey McKinney sub in, and I'm like, oh yeah, they got a McDonald's All-American that's just like on the bench somewhere too.
Half of them will be in the league. Ethan on my ass today. Hello, Ethan. Good to see you're out of class for this one. You act like fans have any impact on prep for the game. No, I'm just talking to the fans. Your coach got to prep you for the game. I'm just talking to the fans. Half of them will be in the league, like 3 of them. No, 4 of them. 4 of them will be in the league. Mars in the league. Lendeborg's in the league. Merez is in the league. Trey McKinney is in the league. Undeniably, all 4 of those are in the league.
2 things one on the league aspect. Elliot shoots 40% from 3 last year. I think he gets a shot. I'm not saying he's like a staple in the league, but like a 2-way for a guy that passes like that, shooting 40% from 3, like somebody gives him a chance. Winter's great. He could develop into an NBA dude too. So I think they have more than 3. Also,
I disagree with both of those. I want that known. That's not my statement. I just have 4 pros.
That's me. I got 6. And honestly, like there's probably somebody. Are we counting G League as a league? Kind of. If it's a 2-way where they go back and forth, kind of. Like if Elliot plays on the Windy City Bulls and then Josh Giddey gets hurt and he's on the Chicago Bulls for a week, I am counting that. But fans have any impact on the prep for the game? Yes and no. Yes and no. Running Point Pod, it's clear like some of these dudes like go on Twitter, they go on YouTube, they look at their name, they're looking for motivation. You kind of like fans do kind of. Steph says it all the time. He has a bad first half. He immediately goes on Twitter and is like looking for people to talk shit about him to motivate him. So I do think fans have some impact on the game to an extent.
I think it's just the overall conversation is absolutely like psychologically how these guys are wired. They're wired like their fans are, their culture is, right? Michigan State fans think the same way their team and their players and their coach do. It all comes from the top down. I watched a Jackson Kohler interview yesterday where he said, we didn't get beat by Duke. We blew it. We lost it ourselves. They didn't win it. We lost it. It's like, okay, all right. Like this is how Michigan State's approaching the season. Nobody's beating them. They're beating themselves when they lose. So like the world's going to come crashing down when Michigan State plays Michigan, because either Michigan State's whole philosophy is right. And guess what? You have more motivation. You play harder. You're tougher. Culture, chemistry, all these things matter when you don't build through the portal. 4 years of togetherness and friendship powers you through. Like either that's going to be right and Michigan State's going to sweep Michigan, or Tom Izzo's going to have to admit that Dusty May bought a roster that he has nothing for. What are we going to do if that happens?
Do you think he kind of already has? Like with the way he's moving on the recruiting trail now, I feel like he's like, well, I got to spend money too.
I think that's a fair point. I don't think it's correlated. I still think Tom Izzo would rather not be spending money. I think they just have a great athletic director who's like, you're going to spend money.
I love that. UConn 99, appreciate the donation, by the way, bro. He said, not sure why people say for Michigan to play somebody when per KenPom, Michigan has the 9th rate strength of schedule. I don't know who could be ahead of them unless it's like Cal Baptist because they've played every top 10 team so far.
Hashtag play somebody. Hashtag play somebody. 9th is not good enough for me. January 30th is what I'm looking ahead to. No, in all seriousness, I have made this point before. People have really shit on Michigan's schedule, even in the preseason, saying they don't have any tough games. Reminder, we played Duke in DC in February. Reminder, there's a 4-game stretch at the end of the year. They go to Mackey, Champaign, and Duke in DC in 2 weeks. Like the schedule will take care of itself. In terms of the non-con, they won the Players Era. They won the biggest MTE by a combined 110 points. Like the play somebody stuff is obviously a joke. They are gaming the metrics though. They haven't actually like calling it the 9th toughest schedule. Just being honest about it. It's the 9th toughest schedule because there aren't any cupcakes here. They don't play one team outside the KenPom 300. Like UConn has played 4 of those. It's smart scheduling from Dusty May, but for fans who want to see them play like multiple top 10 opponents, you got to wait for February for that.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know what team's done a bunch of top 10 opponent games. So I feel like everyone's harping on Michigan just because of like they're putting belt to ass to everybody. So you're like leaning on anything to like have in your back pocket. But like, I don't think anybody's got like a crazy, crazy hard schedule. Ethan said Michigan has G League pros, MSU has German/Swedish League pros, will be cinema. Michigan. Like, yeah, Yaxel's a legit pro.
Yaxel should be in a rotation now somewhere. Yeah. Like, it's basically Michigan basically got what Duke was supposed to get with Cedric Coward, and instead Coward's like torching the league. Like, to me, Yaxel would be doing the same thing if he just had gone pro right now.
And a Daymara, by the way, 7'3", can pass and like kind of shoot. Like, if you think a team's not putting him in a rotation, at least to see what happens, I don't know. And Merez is just Montrezl Harrell. Like, that's all. Like, and Montrezl Harrell had a long NBA career, so I think Merez will be in rotations for a while too.
McKinney will absolutely be drafted. Like, it's either going to be this year or next year.
For sure. Honestly, like someone will probably take a chance on him now because he's a former McDonald's All-American that when he plays, it's look good.
Yeah.
Coda said Michigan fans are ecstatic, not used to winning, ready to crown them in December. I mean, our North Carolina fans not really happy at the moment too. Like what's wrong with being happy about your team?
I wouldn't say not used to winning, respectfully. We were 8-1 at this time last year. Been to 2 national championship games in the last 12 years. Like, I'm relatively comfortable winning. I remember what this feels like. Like, I don't remember seeing a team this good. That's for sure. Like, having to come to terms with the fact that the Trey Burke Michigan team is not the best team I'll see in my life has been weird. I was so adamant I would tell my grandchildren about that team and like fire up Nick Stauskas highlights, and the fact that it's going to be like Cadeau and Will Cheddar instead makes no sense to me.
Love Will Cheddar, though. He's one of my all-time favorite players. Jay Misner said, G, what team has done multiple top 10 games? Is he trying to say Purdue?
I think he's trying to say Arizona.
Oh, Jay Misner's an Arizona fan. Okay.
Although, the pushback is Florida's 5-4, and that's not the win you thought it was.
And UConn didn't have Terrace.
But I'm not taking anything away from Arizona. However, Jay Meisner and Subi, blame Subi, Jay Meisner. Subi is a member of our team who is an Arizona fan, and Subi has been on some wild shit this week. Subi is going to be personally responsible for Arizona's loss to Alabama this weekend.
So Subi has been on one. Ethan says he knows the team. Michigan State played 2 top 10 teams? No, right?
See, people just don't – people don't understand how this works, Deion. Michigan State has played 1 top 20 team.
Yeah. I think people are confused on who's in the top 10. I just want to let everybody know there's only 10 of them.
Go Michigan State fans. They have played 5 top 30 opponents. That is very impressive. Arkansas at home is not the win you think it is. Kentucky is your second most impressive win analytically, and Kentucky is come on. Kentucky. Big win. Congrats on beating Kentucky. North Carolina and Iowa are both top 25 teams right now. Not taking that away. Those are good teams, but which one of those are we presenting as a top 10 opponent? You just saying Kentucky's top 10 because everyone was wrong about them? Like, you played Duke and you lost. That's the top 10 team that you've played. I don't know if we're doing the comparison game, like, dog, we beat Gonzaga by 40. We make Gonzaga look like Oakland, and people want to be like, well, we beat Arkansas.
It isn't that Gonzaga win, like, outside of obviously what Iowa State did in Mackey, that Gonzaga win has to be the most impressive win in the country.
I mean, yeah, stylistically, definitely so. Yeah.
Like, if you look at the Michigan State schedule, like, that Kentucky win definitely ain't anything to write home about. Like, respectfully, Kentucky's 20th on KenPom, that ain't lasting too much longer. Like, that team looks bad. Obviously, the North Carolina game, no Trimble. Arkansas at home, a game they should have lost, by the way. Calipari just Calipari'd. And instead of Calipariing with, like, dudes who, like, play basketball, he had Malik Thomas getting rebounds, sprinting to the 3-point line, and just shooting turnaround threes and hoping for the best for the final 5 minutes. Like, the most impressive game Michigan State played to me was a loss against Duke.
I don't want to take anything away from the Arkansas win. Like, that's a good win. You beat a top 30 team at home, but, like, let's just make sure you're, like, framing it correctly. You beat a top 30 team at home by 3. That is not great win against a top 10 opponent. You beat a top 30 team at home by 3.
I think the narrative should be Michigan and Michigan State are really good, regardless of who they played. I think they both have played schedules that have challenged them, and they've overcome those challenges outside of one game against Duke, who, by the way, like might be the best team in the country if it isn't Michigan, right? So like Cam Boozer's best player in the country. So like I don't think the Duke loss is bad. Both teams have like won the games they're supposed to win, and in Michigan's case, maybe even won a game or two no one thought they would win, like the Gonzaga one. So I think both teams are really good. And listen, there's a lot of Purdue fans probably in this comment at the moment. I know my guy Pickle Rick is. I think that's a problem for Purdue, but Purdue gets both at the crib, so it should be okay.
Deion, do you know what you're doing for New Year's yet?
College football playoff?
Is that the day?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah. I kind of figured you probably wouldn't know what you're doing for New Year's yet because it's like so far away. It's still like a full 3 weeks away. Coincidentally, Michigan State doesn't play a top 100 opponent again until the new year. So let's enjoy these next 25 days before Michigan State plays a top 100 team.
Who do they play?
Penn State, Toledo, Oakland, and Cornell.
Brutal schedule.
God, I wish my team could play such a tough schedule.
Tominator said, I don't agree with that one, Tominator. Fears isn't a front runner by any means.
Yeah, Fears is not a front runner. Fears could be in the NIT still carrying himself this way.
Yeah. Fears just has shit to him. And when he heard like them chanting F you Cam Boozer, he just didn't care. Like Fears doesn't care that they ended up losing that game. He doesn't care that Cam Boozer probably got pissed off. Like he wants that. Like he wanted that version of Cam Boozer. Like he was probably not encouraging that from like a crowd standpoint. He was probably like, Cam, wake the fuck up. I didn't come all the way here to play you and you don't score. Like, let's go to war a little bit. Like I don't think like that was what everybody made it be. But
I said to Card after, if they had just asked Fears in the post game, like what was that about? He would have been like, yeah, fuck Cam Boozer.
Yeah.
And everyone in the room would have been like, dude, what? And he would have been like, yeah, fuck Cam Boozer. What do you mean? Like that's just how he feels.
Fears is like if you ain't with me, you're against me type of dude, which I love. That's me. I love that. The only thing I will say on it, and I said it after it happened, I don't think Michigan State fans feel the same way if they pull up to Mackey and Mackey's chanting nephew Jeremy Fears.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. No. But also like that wouldn't happen because Purdue fans are like nice.
Yeah, I heard Cart on the Running Point pod saying like he wants to be a part of the paint crew. I want to let Cart know I'm also available. If they need people to come in and just find stuff to hate, like Cart and I are special at that. Like I could look at Otzelberger and be like, yeah, I don't like the way your polo fits, buddy. So like I think like if they want some help, they want to be nice. It could be like Sour Patch Kids.
I think that would help them. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because it is an objectively hostile environment, probably one of the toughest places to play. But at the same time, like Purdue fans are mostly very nice to anyone who isn't media saying mean things about their team. The moment you're a media member saying a mean thing about Purdue, they are very not nice. You just got to pretend opposing players are media saying mean things about your team.
If they want to know the truth, those opposing players feel everything the media are saying. They're just not allowed to say it. So like you could just subsequently hate them by association, and I think it would be okay.
For sure.
Are you concerned about Purdue at all?
Like big picture, no. I've tried my best to frame it as this. I think it is fair to say right now they are pretty clearly not the best team in the sport. And that's partially their fault. It's also partially not their fault. Like we would have to say Iowa State's a better team than them right now. That's Purdue's fault. But also no one anticipated Michigan looking this good. And I don't think anyone anticipated Arizona looking this good right now. So for me, just rewired a little bit. Like they are one of 6 teams that I would consider like I won't be surprised at all if they win the national championship. I just think of those 6, they probably have the hardest path because they're going to have to make shots for 6 straight games. I do not think Purdue has ways to win basketball games when they don't make shots, as evidenced by the first half against Minnesota too. I mean, Minnesota's a terrible team. Purdue's offense went cold, and all of a sudden they're in a dogfight 20 minutes into a game at home with Minnesota. You just don't see that from the other teams. Like Michigan doesn't need to make shots to beat bad teams. But in the NCAA tournament, it's all about beating good teams, not beating bad teams. And Purdue can do that for sure if they play their best game.
I think, well, two things on Purdue. The first one is stylistically, Fletcher's not the best player on this roster, obviously. Like, that would be a crazy thing to say. He might be the most important, though. Like, when Fletcher doesn't hit shots, this looks like a completely different team, and he hasn't hit shots the last few games. Yeah. And I think that's been a really big issue for them because that allows teams to play Braden completely different. And you can then take the ball out of Braden's hands, and Fletcher allows Braden to kind of float and go one-on-one. And he hasn't really been able to do that the last few games. And I think that's been a really big issue. I don't know what you do with that, though, because, like, obviously Fletcher's going to miss shots from time to time. He's human. So I don't really know how you solve that. I'm a little concerned with Purdue, but, like, not fully. I think my concern comes from, you kind of said it. I just think the other teams are way better than we thought they were. Like, I think Purdue has been who we thought they would be. Minus one game against Iowa State, but I think otherwise they've kind of been who we thought they would be. But Michigan and Gonzaga, even in Arizona, and honestly, even at Iowa State, those teams are so much better than I thought they would be.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to frame it. And look, there's a long way to go. Teams got to sustain this level of play. I still think Purdue can get a lot better. Things can emerge here from the role players that haven't exactly fully emerged yet. But bottom line is this: no matter what happens in the regular season, you're not going to be surprised if Purdue catches fire and makes a run to their home state Final Four. I think it's just got to. And I really do believe this, back to Ethan's point of like, well, what the fans think doesn't apply to what the team thinks. I talk to Braden every single week, y'all. Like, I can get a pulse on how he's feeling. Yeah. I do think this group just needs to sort of rewire, like, let's go chase this down instead of everyone's chasing us. And you saw a very pissed off version of Braden this week. You saw one of the most special performances of him in his career in the Minnesota game, partially because I think it is settling in. I've got to be more aggressive hunting this than I thought, and that bodes well.
I won't put words in Braden's mouth, of course. Listening to the Run and Point pod, watching the games, I also think it's settling in for him. I got like 3 or 4 months left playing college basketball. And I think once that settles in, for him, Fletch, and TK, they're going to play with zero fears. There's zero pressure on them because they know, hey, this is coming to an end. This is all we got. And I think you get a much different version of them too, which probably lended to him being a little bit more pissed off as well, because he's like, damn, we just lost at Mackey in like my final non-con big game at Mackey. That probably pissed him off extra because you can tell it's starting to settle in a little bit with him.
Right.
Last thing we'll end on, we have 14 more videos to do. But obviously, we're gonna discuss Purdue. I got to get an Omer Meyer takeoff. Paint, big dog. Hey, things was going good when he was playing more. That's all I'm gonna say. Things was going good. We cut minutes. All of a sudden, like Iowa State putting belt to ass. Paint, things was going good when we was playing Omer more. Nah, but and like we could not like talk about him in the post game so negatively too. Like
you got a nice moment for Omer in the Running Point pod this week. Braden giving him credit for the halftime turnaround for holding his vet accountable. I thought that was cool. Before we get out of here, I want to run through and shout out a couple people in the chat just really quickly. Tominator's been active. Shout out to you, Tominator. Is Nebraska the 4th best team in the league? I don't think that's crazy. They do got shit to them. I picked them to beat Illinois in Illinois this weekend, and I love Illinois. They're a Final Four team for me. Jordan Stocks, same question basically. Hi, Jordan, by the way. Thank you for all these great tweets that give us segment ideas. Do we think Nebraska has a chance against Illinois? I'm picking them to win. I think it's going to be the classic force Illinois to shoot 53s game, and they can funnel those threes to Andre and Kylan, who have been struggling from 3. We'll see if I'm right, but matchup-wise, I think it's perfect for Nebraska. Seth Gecko says Fred always plays underwhelmed tough. That felt like a little like, I don't know, almost like you spazzed a little bit, like you short-circuited in that comment. Jay Meisner said, does last night's game change your mind about Iowa State at all? They didn't look good. I think that's the classic you've had 5 days off to hear how great you are spot in the first half. mean, they have literally just sat listening to how amazing they are for 5 days. Here comes Ben McCollum in a rivalry game. He slowed the pace down. They got to him. I was so impressed with the way they responded in a 20-0 run, basically, to start the second half. It doesn't change how I feel whatsoever. And Ethan Basilla says, play with zero fears, you said. Fears is coming. Ethan Basilla, I want to make one thing extremely clear, my friend. And I know you have January 30th circled, just like I have January 30th circled. I have no fears. And I'm happy I have no fears. But with y'all, I have no fears. That's all I got, Deion.
Jordan Stock said, I need to get some pictures on the wall behind me. We'll work on that. Shoot me some tweets. I'll buy pictures. I'll tell everybody what. Half of my next 2 sleepers checks will go to like wall decorations. The other half are going to go to probably like DraftKings.
Idea. Just hang a banner. Just win a banner. That's what you see all these banners? I got all these banners.
Yeah, I tried to do that with Purdue. I'm going to be honest. Like, I really put my best effort in. Best effort's still going in. I do want to own this, Purdue fans. I haven't done my role at all. Golf ball picture hasn't been tweeted out. I haven't been active in the Discord. Everybody has to play their part. I will own. I haven't done my part. Peyton would be screaming, run the fucking play at me for sure. If I was on the Purdue roster, he would go into the postgame like, I need more out of him. He's just a freshman. This is his first year here. A lot of new turnovers. I agree. I got to be better. I'll say this, though. My dog Braden let me know. Just a non-con. I'll be here for conference play.
Greg Art, Silent Assassin, shout out to you, by the way. All right, thank you, y'all. We got 14 more videos coming later this morning on the Sleepers channel. Go check them out.
Check them out. Love you guys. We'll be back Monday.